A Republican candidate for the Senate has been widely condemned for comments he's made about rape and abortion. Todd Akin said women rarely become pregnant in cases of what he called legitimate rape. Yes, that's what he said. Now, we'll get the reaction from Washington in just a moment, but first, let's take a look at that interview.
It seems to me, first of all, from what I understand from doctors, that's really rare. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down. But let's assume that maybe that didn't work or something. You know, I think there should be some punishment, but the punishment ought to be in the rapist and not attacking the child.
There he is there with those extraordinary remarks. Let's go to our North America correspondent, Craig McMurtry, who joins us now from Washington. And Craig, he is out on his own, been really sort of hung out to dry for extraordinary remarks that expose that very conservative rump of the Republican Party.
Yes, good morning, Bev. It's very damaging for the Republican Party because there is already a gender gap between their base, the Democrats, a gap that Democrats have been exploiting. Barack Obama holds a sizable advantage with women voters over Mitt Romney, for example, so this really does resonate. And it's even more extraordinary because Todd Akin's no freshman GOP politician. He's a six-term congressman, an anti-abortion hardliner. Now, women's groups have called this comment astonishing. His Democrat opponent, a woman in Missouri, has said it's beyond comprehension that anyone could be so ignorant. She was behind in the polls. Republicans are concerned that this has so damaged his campaign, never mind the national fallout, that he might not be able to claim the Missouri Senate seat they were counting on. And Barack Obama decided to pop up unexpectedly in the White House briefing room earlier today to talk about it. It was the first question he faced. Have a listen.
Let me first of all say the views expressed were offensive. Rape is rape. And the idea that we should be parsing and qualifying and slicing what types of rape we're talking about doesn't make sense to the American people, and certainly doesn't make sense to me.
Barack Obama there making it very clear. How much of an issue do you think he will make this in terms of the political debate? Because the Republicans, of course, are trying to keep everything on the economy. This really exposes a lot of social policy for them, doesn't it?
It really does, and the timing's terrible. They're coming up to the big signature convention at the end of this week, going into next week. It's where they really want to present Mitt Romney as their candidate and a party united behind him. The selection of Congressman Paul Ryan as Mitt Romney's running mate, who's a hardliner on fiscal issues, was seen as an attempt to really demonstrate that they wanted to talk about the state of the US economy and jobs. It's clearly a distraction. Mitt Romney's issued a statement calling Congressman Akin's comments on rape insulting, inexcusable and frankly wrong, so he clearly gets how damaging this is. The RNC chairman has told Congressman Akin that he's not going to get any support, financial support from the party if he decides to continue with his Senate bid. But right now, whilst he's admitting a serious error, he is refusing to withdraw, and that is, of course, only fueling this firestorm.
And do you think it would go to the point that Romney might dump him and actually be forced to do something about it himself?
Well, I'm not sure the extent that Mitt Romney can intervene in that way. It really is a matter for the Republican Party, for the RNC chairman. And he's already made his position very clear, calling on Todd Akin to consider his position in 24 hours, saying he's not going to get financial support from the party. Now, clearly the Romney campaign, the candidate himself, will be very influential in this process. But I think the signal has been sent to Congressman Akin. He has said that he's only just begun to fight. As I said, he's admitted the serious error. He's under enormous pressure, but the timeline's very tight here. If he's to withdraw and the Republican Party is to have time to put someone else in his place, he has to really do it in the next 24 hours.